Brace for impact. Nvidia's upcoming earnings report is poised to send shockwaves through the markets. Prominent analyst Dan Ives calls this the most important week in years as anticipation reaches a fever pitch. Nvidia dominates the red-hot AI sector, and demand for its graphics chips remains insatiable. This earnings call is far more than just another quarterly update. It could validate Nvidia as a generational tech leader. Investors are buzzing with excitement, expecting a potential bombshell that may shake up the markets. Don't blink. Nvidia's next earnings announcement could change everything. But for now, uncertainty breeds anticipation. The ground is rumbling. So brace for impact. Nvidia's imminent earnings announcement could change everything. This week marks a turning point, for better or worse. Stay tuned as we dive into how this earnings report could reshape investor expectations and sentiments. Major players like former Google CEO Eric Schmidt and prominent trader Steve Grasso have already voiced their opinions, signaling a whirlwind of potential market movements. Hello everyone and welcome back to Investocracy.
All right, you might think the final week of August would be relatively quiet as traders take their last vacation days before the end of summer. However, there's a huge, potentially market-moving event looming next week. That's Nvidia earnings. Some analysts are suggesting those results, they may even overshadow Jay Powell's speech today in Jackson Hole. It seems Nvidia is under pressure every quarter to prove the AI hype is real and justify lofty valuations for big tech. Joining me now is Dan Ives, Managing Director of Equity Research at Wedbush. Dan, a lot riding on this report. You have a new note out. Let's just start with this. I'm just looking at the estimates. These are the estimates. Revenue growth of 112%, EPS growth of 125%. Just astronomical. It's like a head shaking your head, and you're one of the biggest fans of this company. Can this company meet these expectations? Can it even exceed them? Is just meeting them good enough for investors?
Well, meeting them is not good enough, but I believe this is going to be a drop the mic moment for the godfather of AI, Jensen Nvidia, because all of our checks are showing this is accelerating. And I think the street, like you said, every quarter, prove it. This revolution is just starting, but it all starts with Nvidia. In my opinion, it is the most important earnings, not just of the year, potentially in many years because of what this represents in terms of tech.
Groundbreaking earnings report on the horizon for Nvidia attention. Stock market enthusiasts, brace yourselves for what might be the most pivotal week in recent memory. A bold prediction has rippled through the financial markets, and the spotlight is firmly on Nvidia Corp, NVDA, ahead of its highly anticipated earnings report. Prominent analyst Dan Ives from Wedbush Securities has dubbed this the most important week for the market this year, and potentially in years. As Nvidia continues to dominate the AI sector, the stakes couldn't be higher. Furthermore, analyzing the buzz surrounding Nvidia's upcoming earnings report, the air is electric with anticipation as investors await Nvidia's upcoming earnings report. Predictions are swirling, and it's clear this isn't just another earnings call. Dan Ives describes it as a masterpiece quarter driven by the insatiable demand for AI. But why all the fuss over one company? For one, Nvidia has been making strategic moves that solidify its place as a leader in AI technology. The company recently announced a collaboration with Nanjuen International Co. for the manufacture of its GB200 AI servers. Former Google CEO Eric Schmidt didn't mince words when he talked about Nvidia's dominance in the AI accelerator market. According to Schmidt, major corporations could soon be funneling billions into AI data centers, much to Nvidia's benefit. Eric Jackson, the founder of EMJ Capital, and Goldman Sachs analysts join the chorus of bullish voices. Jackson forecasts Nvidia's stock might surge to $340 in the medium term, while Goldman Sachs continues to emphasize strong demand from cloud service providers and enterprises for AI solutions. Goldman Sachs analyst Toshiya Hari points out that Nvidia's data center segment could be a major earnings driver. To add a touch of humor to this intense conversation, remember the old stock market joke. What's the difference between a stock trader and a pizza? A pizza can feed a family of 4. With stocks like Nvidia, maybe it's time to rethink that analogy. With Nvidia's current trajectory, it might soon afford much more than just pizza. But before we go through it, if you want to keep up with Nvidia's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates. Now, back to today's video, where we unfold Nvidia's magnificent report.
So I've been asking a lot of people this. Is it the earnings that matter or the guidance? Because the expectations are lofty. Let's say they meet or beat when it comes to revenue and EPS, but the guidance isn't what people are expecting. What does that do to the stock? What do you think it does to the market?
It's all about the guidance. But all, I mean, we just got back from Asia. All of our checks are showing Street is still underestimating this acceleration. Because right now, the only game in town is Jensen. And really, if you look what NVIDIA is doing, especially from chips coming forward, this enterprise demand is just starting. And in my opinion, of course, Powell, Jackson Hole is so important.
Huge, obviously.
But the market, what it's going to do for the rest of the year, and I could argue even in 2025, it starts with this NVIDIA earnings. And I expect, get the popcorn ready. It's going to be a
You say this every quarter, Dan.
No, but this is going to be a showstopper showing where the revolution's going.
Okay.
And I think the skeptics continue to get proven wrong. It's showing that now the second, third, fourth derivatives are just starting to play out. So when I look at what the godfather of AI, Jensen and NVIDIA are doing, we're talking about transformation. I believe a year from now, this is a $4 trillion market cap along with Apple and Microsoft.
By the way, you changing his last name. It's Jensen NVIDIA. It's not Jensen Huang anymore. You just decided?
Look, you're
making decisions. I want to get back to your note. According to your research, for every dollar spent on NVIDIA chips, it kind of flows through to the rest of the tech sector to $8 to $10. What does that mean for some of these other stocks?
That's the most important thing. Because remember, it's not just about NVIDIA. It's about the multiplier. It's about the revolution, the $1 trillion of CapEx. For every dollar spent on an NVIDIA chip, there's an 8 to 10 multiplier across the rest of tech. That's why it's so important in terms of what NVIDIA says for this bull market to continue.
So you're saying it's a...
Now, stepping back to examine the stock's performance, Nvidia closed at $123.74 on Thursday, a 3.70% drop for the day, but slightly recovered in after-hours trading by 0.64%. Despite this volatility, the stock has soared by an eye-popping 156.88% year-to-date. This optimism isn't unfounded. The adoption of AI is transforming industries, and Nvidia is right at the core. A Wall Street Journal report highlighted Nvidia's GPUs as the industry standard for accelerating data center workloads, claiming Nvidia holds a market share of more than 80%. The company is also expanding beyond GPUs, with offerings like the Grace data center server chip and its suite of software and services products, which recently hit an annual revenue run rate of $1 billion. But that's not all of it, so let's keep rolling.
This week, I think it kind of begins and ends also with NVIDIA. And I'm not trying to put too much on it, but the expectations are extremely high. We know what the stock has done. The recovery that it's made in the last couple of weeks, when it got underneath 90 and all the way back up to 130, 140 is its high. So it's been an incredible run, but you can see, like on a day like today, what the influence of NVIDIA really truly is. When you look at the NASDAQ and even look over at the Dow just couldn't hold on any longer. So much of the Dow is not NVIDIA, but it's tech related, and anything connected at all with NVIDIA is certainly getting pulled down along the way today, at least with that. And that's why I think we've seen that big correction in the Dow. But the NASDAQ just continues to flow to the downside. You can credit technology. You can really credit the semiconductors. They're down a little over 2% so far today.
Look at tweets by analysts and market insiders, and you'll notice a common theme. Confidence in NVIDIA continues to grow. One tweet from Eric Jackson reads, "If you believe in AI's future, NVIDIA is a must-have in your portfolio." Another tweet from trader Steve Grasso mentions, "Re-entering NVIDIA is a no-brainer given future price action." But NVIDIA isn't alone in benefiting from the AI boom. Chip makers like ARM Holdings and Broadcom are also riding the wave. Year-to-date, ARM stock has increased by 80% and Broadcom by 49%. Even though the S&P 500 has shown a substantial 18% advance, it's clear that AI-linked stocks are in a league of their own. NVIDIA's chips underpin the most advanced AI systems, and the company is strategically expanding its product offerings beyond GPUs, further solidifying its market positioning. But before going through it, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
Big week. You think the odds are skewed that Nvidia actually trades down on earnings. Why is that?
Well, you hit the pressure point right out of the gate there, and that is, of course, related to this Blackwell delay. Last quarter, Jensen Huang said that they're going to have a lot of Blackwell demand. a lot of Blackwell revenue, specifically in calendar 24, and I suspect that that's going to be modest revenue. We're talking about a 3-month delay, and ultimately I think that for investors who are just hyper-focused on every minute of what this company is doing, that could be viewed as a slight negative. Also keep in mind the stock is up 30% over the last 3 weeks, just shy of 5% of its all-time highs. And so there's just a ton of noise around the quarter, but I think this Blackwell piece is probably the most important X factor about the quarter. And so that's kind of why I think that the stock is going to trade down modestly. But I don't think that stock action should be representative of the opportunity in NVIDIA over the next couple of years.
Time to consider investing in Nvidia? As we wrap this up, it's clear that Nvidia's imminent earnings report is more than just a quarterly update. It's a potential market-moving event. If you've been on the fence about investing in Nvidia, now may be the time to jump in. The company's robust presence in the AI sector, coupled with strategic collaborations and a diversified product portfolio, paints a very optimistic picture for future growth. Currently, Nvidia's stock shows volatility, but the upward trajectory year-to-date cannot be ignored. Analysts like Eric Jackson are projecting a potential surge to $340, which underscores the bullish sentiment surrounding the stock. Moreover, Nvidia continues to innovate and expand its market share, making it a compelling option for long-term investors. So, what's your take? Are you as excited as we are about Nvidia's prospects? Do you think this earnings report will be the game changer everyone is predicting? And finally, if you would like to know what companies like Nvidia have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.